I've had them.
Are they any
before.
good?
They're like bad.
Okay.
I don't know. They're like worse Hershey's.
Worse Hershey's is saying something.
It's not very good, to be honest, and I'd not even. It's really not. I mean, I don't think I've met a single person who's like, yeah, this shit's fucking real good.
How many 12-year-olds do you meet?
I saw.
I was gonna say.
Look, I saw the guy in the last video say, "Oh, it tastes just like real."
He thought it was really good.
Yeah, he liked it a lot.
He
was waiting.
The lady at the
watching...
chocolate shop at American Dream Mall, she thought it was really good.
Yeah. I was watching one where they like all stay in a cave and then Logan Paul shows up or whatever. They're in Romania. And they, of course, eat lunchly somewhere in the middle. And he mentions that the cheese tastes like real cheese.
Is that where I like my cheese drippy, bro, comes from?
No, that came from when they were watching the first episode of Talk Tua in a theater. I think Logan Paul was at that too, because it's his drink that goes into Lunchly.
It's just a drink full of forever chemicals.
No, that video that he posted, the watching the first episode of Talk to eating Lunchly in the theater. And I think that's where, it's such I think it's just text. I think it's text on the video, or someone says it where
I like my cheese drippy.
I like my cheese drippy, bruh.
Yeah.
And that like caused something. That caused a change in me. That
Dude, I remember you saying that over and over again.
I remember you posting that over and over again.
That video.
It fucking ruined my life.
No, June, I think that was one of the moments where like we became, instead of like, I became more friends than coworkers when that happened, because it's like now like I've had that experience where it's like a Manchurian Candidate moment or something that just like some deep schism from reality, a phrase that just makes you, I want to fucking kill. I understand terrorism now. I don't understand it.
No, you're absolutely so correct. It's you see past the world that exists. Yeah. You see something so
you start seeing the fucking chiral vectors.
Yes. You just you it's something that you were not meant to see. Yeah. It breaks your entire reality, and it makes you question everything you have lived previously. It makes you question everything that's coming forward into the future. It makes you question reality. What do you fucking mean you like your cheese drippy broth? It's a fucking it's a 1-inch cracker with fucking the worst looking chemical cheese I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's like the cheese that comes in those
Why are you watching Talk to It in the theater? Why? I couldn't.
What's crazy is that Talk to
no one does that.
Talk to It is back. And no one even knows. They're like, oh, she
June and I
forever.
are big.
No, she came back.
We need to get Haley.
We do.
We need to get Haley on the show.
Wait, are you going to get... Wait, which show, Josh? Are you going to get her on the natalism show?
No. I want Haley on...
I want her on the worst of all possible.
But no, we
should have her on the natalism show.
Whoever gets her first, the other person has to end their podcast. That's right. Good luck.
Pistols at dawn.
Whoever
I'm gonna help you guys.
I love how clear it is. Maybe it's just that she fully tarnished her reputation with that crypto coin. Yeah. That any hype, even it was mostly ironic, right. I feel like, but any hype that it did exist that was there was completely destroyed by that. Yeah. Or the talent agency that strangely Logan Paul owned, he owned her, let her go, and interestingly, she went from like millions and millions of views and downloads to like less than 20,000.
Yeah. Wow.
I think a lot of that was not actual real
do.
Organic engagement. I think they were juicing those numbers.
I agree. Yeah. I totally agree, which, I don't want to be like conspiratorial, but
now
I do
she's
think
just another young woman that sounds like one of the country bears from Splash Mountain.
And she's, I have to say, I've listened to a couple of her new episodes. A lot more genuine.
It's more her show now.
Yeah, she's free.
Yeah. She fully owns it. I love her. I think she's
love
great.
the commercial where it's like, it's my turn to tell my story. What do you mean? You're like 20 years old.
So good.
Nobody gives a fuck about your story. You got fucking drunk and somebody interviewed you with a cell phone, your story? What the fuck are you talking about?
Imagine if Dasha was like came back out of nowhere and was like, "It's time to tell my story about the."
She's at least
the
at least
sailor.
Her
Dasha
story
has a
every week.
somewhat
It sucks
interesting
dog
story.
dick. I don't want to hear that story.
Yeah.
So obviously we've established we all like our cheese drippy,
We do.
bruh. But you know what I like more than the cheese being drippy is more Mr. Beast videos.
Yeah.
I fucking love Mr. Beast videos. So we have a couple more to talk about, and this one is really heartwarming and beautiful, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
And it's the watch this video to feed one person in need. How do you guys feel about that? We all watched this video. We fed 6 people just by watching.
Actually,
just
no.
earlier.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is I actually have another video on YouTube, which is every time someone watches this video, I kick a child in the face.
Fuck, how many views does that one
From
have?
children.
1 million.
Fuck.
Wow, your legs must be so tired.
No, honestly, it's a joy. It's a joy.
That's funny.
Somebody needs to take these fucking privileged losers to task.
I'm gonna become like the Joker to him, and I'm gonna just all the videos that he does. I'm gonna be like, I blow an air horn in 5,000 people's ears.
Yeah.
You will
You're
torture.
gonna go to Africa and blind
No one gets
No, I'm
any
gonna be like
money.
one of those. I'm gonna be like one of the like terrorists in the UK who like throws acid on people, but it's actually a Mr. Beast thing. It's not.
You're throwing lunchleys at him.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, just to be clear, FBI, this is a joke.
Yeah.
This is a joke. I'm fucking.
Mr.
kidding.
Beast has a line of toys that are Mr. Beast Lab, where you like pour liquid on powders and it all kind of bubbles up, and then you're able to take the toy out afterwards. So yeah, it could be part of Mr. Beast's lab.
Perfect.
It's like the boy version of all of those toys that girls get now, where you have to do an arcane series of steps and rituals and incantations to get like a stuffed animal out of an egg.
Oh, yeah. But what's so interesting about it to me is that it's like I remember having like weird little like science lab things where you make a rubber skeleton or whatever. These don't even actually do anything except for kind of open the package up. Like they're designed for unboxing videos. But then once you get the toy out, that's just the thing. You just have a little piece of plastic shit.
The things that I think are infinitely cooler than any of this was those like little cubes that you put them in water and they become like little towels or whatever.
Oh,
they were
yeah,
just, like, little towels that expanded.
I had a
loved those.
t-shirt that was all squashed up to look like a small t-shirt. It was in the shape of a t-shirt.
Oh, and it expanded. You expanded a shirt. See, that's like some real magic shit. They would, if you brought that back to Jesus' times and you like, dipped that in water, they'd be like, "Oh, this fucker is Jesus Christ." You could convince anyone.
Truly,
like, that's some
this man
Jesus
is
shit.
the Son of God, not that guy up there.
No,
I
that
fed
guy, no.
5,000 people using only 5 loaves and 2 fish. But yes, we're back obviously with more Mr. Beast. With it,
I love Mr. Beast.
feeding one person in need. Right. That's what we've all done. That's what this video is all about. It's all about how like all you have to do is watch this video, and the way that he puts it in the intro, which I think is just he uses the weirdest fucking wording. He says like, when you watch this video, money is generated. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Like, are you talking about like
I
ad
think
revenue?
so.
Like, I think that's what he's saying, right? That's
Yeah,
what
if you
I mean,
watch
he didn't
it all
make
the way
any
through.
clearer.
Yeah.
But money is
It's
generated.
really weird. Yeah, money is generated.
I didn't know it literally grew on trees like that. That's crazy. Yeah, that's really cool.
Every time someone watches this entire video, including you right now, money is generated. And as this video grows, that increasing amount of money will feed an astonishing amount of people. Everybody eats. But that's not all it's gonna do. You watching this video will supply farmland, build massive kitchens, fill schools with food for their students, and save children from child labor. So honestly, I'm glad you're here.
There you go. 1,500 people have now been fed.
I'm very excited for the future.
This one was, I don't know. It's one that it's like, how do you complain about him doing something that's like good? Like, it's like a good thing, right? I have complaints also, but it's one of those things where it's like you have to approach very delicately because it's like it's a very difficult balance to walk here. And I think the craziest thing in this entire video, and we can walk back a little bit, but the moment that kind of lost me entirely was when he was in I forget which part in Africa, but in one of the little towns he was in, he all of a sudden was like, and we brought all of these kids chocolate, and they're all clearly feastables.
Yeah,
Beast feastables,
and they're kids who were growing up working on family chocolate farms.
Yes, like they, I'm not going to say anything defamatory. I don't know. I truly don't know if MrBeast uses child labor for his chocolate farms. In this video, he says he doesn't.
Claims in this video not only that he doesn't use it, but he also talks pretty extensively about how he now has programs in place to again, he's bad at wording things.
Yeah.
It makes it sound like he's like slowing down, like he's ratcheting back the amount of child labor that he's using gradually. That's what he makes it sound like.
That is what it sounds. It sounds like, well, because at first, just like I was talking about with the MrBeast burger stuff and how it was another company and he doesn't like the way that they do things. I think that's how the chocolate bars started. He changed the branding around. He changed the flavors. He told people stop eating the old ones, eat the new ones. And I think that he didn't have a lot of control over how it was getting farmed.
The actual supply chain, sure.
Yeah, and I think he genuinely does not want child labor involved in his chocolate, and he wants people to know that he doesn't want it involved. But I think it probably was involved at some point because it's very, very hard to source chocolate without child labor. Yeah.
It's nearly impossible.
Yeah.
It's nearly almost entirely impossible.
Yeah, it's so endemic.
But have you considered that if you do what you love, then you never work a day in your life?
True. And kids love chocolate.
They do. And kids love chocolate.
They clearly, and not only do they love chocolate, but they love Feastables chocolate. They all had a Feastables chocolate bar, and they were eating it right by
those
Mr.
kids
Beast.
were fucking pogging out when they got the chocolate bars.
Well, what they didn't show you is who's the tall stupid one? Chris or something?
Hallow. His last name is Hallow. What's his
Gordon?
Tyson?
No, that's Ava's last name.
Oh, right. Wait, hold on. Let me.
The stupid one.
Yeah.
The
one who like mumbles.
Looks like young Mr. Burns.
Everything.
No.
Chandler. The one who comes on screen. He's like,
yes, he is a homunculus. That is a good way to describe him. Yeah, he was off screen wielding a machete and shaking it at the children.
Was he really? I didn't see that. I believe it. He did it. I'm gonna get him.
Get his ass.
I'm gonna get
Chandler's ass.
No, but see, like again, it's like this video is good, but it's one of those things where it's like I truly believe at the end of the day, MrBeast Jimmy does have like pretty good intentions with most of these videos he does.
I disagree.
It's stuff like this.
I disagree, and I'm going to chart out my counter arg to you. But go for present your arg. Yeah. I'll present my counter.
See, I think at like the base level, his intentions are good in that he thinks this is like, oh, this is just like the first step to doing good with like my platform that I have.
Yeah.
But to me, like the reason I don't necessarily think it is that at all is I think it sort of disarms any argument for needing actual reform in like the world or any system at all.
Yeah.
I think the way he frames these videos, especially the ones like these, the watch this video to feed one person in need and the 1,000 deaf people hearing for the first time, especially these in particular, where people, like, all you need to do is watch these videos and we will change the world.
Yeah. It's like that. Have you ever read that book, The Nonprofit Industrial Complex? It's like that, but like YouTube videos.
Yeah. And it like disarms actual action because he's like kind of priming his audience in some way where it's like, you don't actually have to do anything. You don't have to like rally politicians to do anything. You don't have to like organize your community to change like what people like need and get help. But
just
like,
watch this video. Yeah.
Just watch this video.
Just buy
like,
a red iPod instead of a blue one.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I mean, and so like I don't think he is necessarily doing good, but I think he doesn't understand. I think he thinks he is doing the ultimate good. I think he thinks there is nothing else to be done. Do you disagree with that?
I think I largely agree, but I think I disagree with the idea that and maybe this isn't what you said, but this is kind of what I heard, that in creating this, it is his intention to build a better world first and foremost. That this is the objective of this video. Because I don't think that's true.
No, he's there to cash in.
Yeah, that's I agree.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
This is still on his regular channel, right? This isn't on MrBeast 2 or one of his nonprofit channels.
Yeah, because he has a whole Beast Philanthropy channel, doesn't he?
Yeah, then that's a separate channel, right? It all, but like the toys, like the burgers, it all feeds back into the brand. Right. And this one is on the main channel, so he's still monetized. Yes, he might be setting the money aside from this particular video, but also the metrics then point to his other videos, and it keeps going and it keeps producing money for him. And he values these very showy displays, right? In everything that he does, but also especially in his charity. So it's like, we're getting this farm a tractor. That's really cool. Right. It's going to cut down on a lot of labor time and everything else. Who's going to pay for it the first time it breaks?
Right.
Maybe he has something in place. He doesn't say that, though, right? So there's every reason to assume that he doesn't. He has just given them a tractor and was like, drive this down the road while I talk at the camera, and then it's all yours, right?
It's one of those things where I think, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think it's to build this, he's this entrepreneur that's also altruistic brand. Right. He's trying to become like the most famous influencer Bill Gates type guy.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, doesn't really like fix the world. But if it did, it would have happened by now.
Other thing that I will add, though, that I think really gives the game away, and the thing that really made the bile rise in the back of my throat, was the first half is him like giving tractors and desks and shit to farms and schools in Kenya and Ghana. But then in the second half of the video, he goes back to the old US of A. And in this part, he is working with a local food not-for-profit, basically a gleaner type operation that like gets food that is going to otherwise be thrown out and repurposes it and, it distributes it to like, food kitchens and pantries and stuff like that. Fine, whatever. Yeah. I think that's fine. The thing that made me actively angry was, well, first of all, noticing the shirts that they were wearing. I was seeing these red shirts. And I was like, oh, that's not the MrBeast logo. There's something a little different about that logo. And then I noticed the little D at the end of it. That's a DoorDash collab.
They made a hybrid MrBeast DoorDash logo hoodie
so I
for you to buy.
Was like, okay, DoorDash sponsorship coming up, clearly. What I was not expecting, though, was the part where he was like, we've done a limited run of 20,000 MrBeast DoorDash sweatshirts. And if you buy these, DoorDash will donate money to this charity. And it's like, this is this is actually everything wrong with the way that money is used for nonprofit purposes in the United States right now. Because you know what that is for DoorDash? It's fucking bupkis. It's nothing. But what it does get them is a fat tax write-off. It also gets them goodwill that they do not deserve.
No, DoorDash is an evil company.
Yeah, I mean, how many DoorDash drivers are themselves dependent on pantries?
Right. Food. They themselves are food insecure. Many of them. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? And so I think that being like, oh, well, Jimmy is just doing this because this is the partner that he was willing to partner with and like he's doing his best. I think that is assigning a level of naivete to him, his intellect, and his intentions that is unwarranted.
I think even just expanding on that, there was the point near the end of the video, I think at the end, near the end of that product placement with DoorDash, where he's with him and all his friends are wearing that DoorDash sweater, standing next to the guy
from
that
the
does
nonprofit,
wearing his logo. I'm blanking on the name, and they're like, "How about you cover up your nonprofit
with our fucking DoorDash
sweater?"
shirt?
And I was
Yeah.
like, what do you fucking mean?
Yes, that made me so angry.
What do you mean? No, that was the point. Because this is already the same video where it was like, look at all these African children loving our chocolates. And then 5 minutes later, they're like, get rid of your nasty little logo and put on DoorDash's logo. And it's like,
Jimmy does not believe in free publicity, even when it's for the charity that he is supporting, right? He always knows his worth and he's always going to get it.
Which is crazy because it's like, profiling, it felt like a humiliation ritual, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like subjecting this.
Put on the DoorDash hoodie guy who's been doing what seems to be really actually high
good
quality
and important work.
Yeah. No, DoorDash, Uber, all of these companies in the gig economy, reinforcing the gig economy, are destroying like labor laws in so many states. Throughout the entire country, they are people working for these companies very desperate. Like these, a lot of people that I used to work for Grubhub. I used to deliver for Grubhub like 3 years ago. Yeah. I didn't have a job at the time. I needed money. I had no choice while I was applying for other jobs, but to do that to like get by in any real capacity and have money for anything. And it's not a place where people work because they are like, you're not making a livable wage doing these sort of jobs. And the fact that we're kind of philanthropizing these really awful companies that pay people horribly, it just mind boggles me. Whenever I see any of these companies get positive like press, it drives me fucking crazy because I know what people make working for these jobs because I used to. And Jesus Christ, you are not making even half. Unless you're in a big city like New York or Chicago or any of these places, unless you're in like a huge city, you're not making a livable wage or even close.
Right. And especially a place where you can afford to do the job on a bike or an e-bike rather than a car, because then you have the expenses of your car going into.
But if you're on an e-bike, even if, like, let's say you're on an e-bike, right? I mean, this was an issue with the mayoral debate here in New York, right? That one of the big forces going up against Zoran was DoorDash, the company itself and their pack, because he favors restrictions around what DoorDash is allowed to do to its fucking workers.
And what's I think Uber in California really heavily backed. I'm blanking on what the amendment or bill was. I don't know if you guys remember what it was, but it was.
I know what you're talking about.
If I remember correctly, heavily, it gave them companies like Uber a lot of more power.
Okay.
Force. And it took away power.
I remembered
from
this.
A lot
this
of workers.
Is California Proposition 22, which was the ballot initiative that said that if you are a transportation, like you're doing ride share, you're a delivery driver, whatever, that there is going to then the state of California must implement labor and wage policies that are specific to that industry. Whereas no votes basically said that the California Assembly could decide whether they're employees or independent contractors. And it passed, and that was to the benefit of Uber. Because the law that the California State Assembly had previously passed was saying we need to stop classifying these people as independent contractors because they're actually employees, which of course entitle them to like normal labor protections.
And not only just that, not even just normal labor protections, but benefits and actually getting livable wages. Because what's happening with a lot of these companies, which maybe a lot of people know at this point, but I just want to reinforce this, especially because I used to work with Grubhub. These companies do not pay you. They are not paying you. The money you are making, if I remember correctly, it's probably higher now just due to inflation and everything. But at the time, you only made like $2 or $3 from the company itself.
Per trip,
Per trip. And the rest of the money you make is from tips from people giving like that you are giving the order to, or giving the ride share to and from, which is fucking crazy. This is the worst of the service industry. It's worse than working in a restaurant, because you are guaranteed even less of a livable wage. You're guaranteed
like you can
less.
actually make an okay living as a bartender. It's not possible to do that in DoorDash.
No, and it's fucking bleak. It's horrible that these companies are getting so much influence and positive press. And you're right. I totally forgot about the DoorDash part of this video at first, and that it is. horrible. I really do not like that he gave like, oh, we love DoorDash here. MrBeast, I love DoorDash.
Particularly in a video about food insecurity. That's what makes it so fucking gall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I do want to say just very briefly too, to that point of minimums and like how no matter what, they'll always try to fuck labor. The delivery apps, right? There is now a minimum wage in effect, and this went into effect in April here in New York City, where it's $21.44 is the minimum wage for drivers on the apps. But of course, what the apps then did was they obfuscated the ability to easily give tips to your driver in like Uber or whatever, because, you know, they suck. They're horrible.
Yeah.
And so I guess my to pull it back to MrBeast, right? My point here is that these are not just evil companies, but they are evil companies that cannot be operated with in good faith. You cannot promote them without expressly undermining the message that you are endeavoring to put forward. And it fucking pisses me off, in case that wasn't obvious.
Yeah, no, infinite death to DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber, all of these companies.
Okay, but both of you are forgetting. He cleaned up a beach.
True.
He planted 20,000 trees.
True.
He helped 1,000 blind people see.
Right.
He helped 1,000 deaf people hear. He gave food to everyone. And he made the best chocolate bar of all time. and he made my cheese drippy, bruh.
Absolutely. By the way, was anybody else fully stun locked when Tony Robbins showed up for a minute at the end of this fucking
what
thing?
the fuck was that?
Wait, he was? I totally missed him. He was there.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
And Jimmy is
that
like,
actually tracks, dude.
Are any of these any of these videos the ones where he started doing this I feel like he started doing this like a year ago, where he started having like stunt celebrities randomly in videos. He's like, Justin Timberlake is in this video. And it's like, what the fuck is
Except
he
it's
in this?
fucking
it's
Tony
a phone
Robbins.
call.
Who cares?
a phone call with Tony Robbins that's like 2 seconds
I feel like
long.
that's a MrBeast special request. He seems like the kind of guy who'd get really into
Tony Robbins by request only.
Yeah.
Also, Tony Robbins is so fucking popular with, religious moms in the heartland.
Yes.
Like
And this podcast as well. I will say. He's a friend of the show. We haven't had him on, but he is a friend.
Looking forward to it. He'll be on.
He'll be on.
Bizarre, just a bizarre one. No, I feel like I think that's the shortest video of the ones we watched here. Or no, the
deaf people. But
ones.
definitely.
But this was still a shorter one that I had a lot more
10
to
minutes
say
long,
than
but
I
a
realized.
rich text.
Yeah, just like all of the MrBeast.
That's
lore.
right. So the next one on the playlist then that I put together for all of you is $1 versus $500,000 romantic date.
This is my least favorite video. I'm just gonna say I fucking hate this video so much.
This is
for
just
so
not
many reasons.
fun.
Wait. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I don't think it's on this list of videos, but there's another one where he does the same concept. He did this a couple times, and he's like, $1 hotel versus $1 million hotel, right? And the best. Wait, that's not on this list, right?
No.
Okay. But I just want to point out, if you want to pull up that video very quickly, just to look even, the first thing that he does in that video is he like goes to India and he's like, look at this $1 hotel in the slums of Mumbai. It's so
But this
so
is
good.
They're living in
This is the
dirt.
other thing about Jimmy that I kind of wanted to point up, right? Is like when I was compiling these, I noticed there's sort of like they're not formal series, but to that exact point, Lolo, like the whole fucking low value, high value. This seems to be something that he's found quite a bit of success with, because another key plank of MrBeast, along with like the philanthropy, the extreme stunts, and the making other people do extreme things, is presenting an aspirational lifestyle ?
Yeah. And I think that's because like a lot of aspirational content is generally from old money people who have just gotten into social media because they have a lot of downtime. And so they're like, yeah, here's my flight in first class on, Emirates Airlines or whatever. And with Jimmy Donaldson, here you have a guy who really doesn't think about anything besides work, who rolls up every aspect of pleasure in his life.
Yes.
Whether that's even his friends, his fiance, or his drippy cheese, bruh, into this channel. But he has the mindset of a middle-class 9-year-old boy.
Yes.
Which is why he's the perfect aspirational guy for this.
I have to push back on this because you're suggesting that he has any pleasure in his life at all.